Rolling Out family. This is your man, Eddie Precise Lamar, and you're tuned into Rolling Out Music, where we spotlight the voices shaping the sound and culture. Today, we're honored to chop it up with one of Chicago's sharpest lyricists, Philmore Greene. Known for his thought-provoking bars and soul-rooted production, Philmore has been carrying the torch for authentic storytelling in hip-hop. We're talking to him about his new single, Gold Air Max, and the powerful project, Cost of Living. Let's get into it. Philmore, what's going on, brother?
What's going on, good brother? How you feeling, man?
Man, I'm feeling good, man. Great to talk to you. First question, brother, what you've been doing to stay so inspired lately?
Man, I've been listening to a lot of Dusty's music, looking at documentaries, and just, playing with my kids, man, playing with the family, being with the family, taking long walks. Just the simple things, bro. Like it's nothing extravagant about me, man. I'm older now and I'm embracing that, but it's all simple, all the simple things, man. The short, simple things. And I'm just naturally inspired, man. I'm 40 now, so I'm one of the rappers I ain't afraid to, I'm 40. So everything is new for me. So this whole new phase of life is just inspiring me as a whole.
Yes, yes. So first of all, congratulations. There was a time coming up when the goal was to make it past 18. I don't know if you're old enough to remember those times, but shoot, making 21 was the goal, right? But to make it to 40, that's a blessing right there. Thank God for that.
The blessing, man. I'm looking for 40 more. 40
yes,
more.
Sir.
40 quick ones, man. But 40 to 50, man, it's going to be beautiful for me. These are the years that's really going to set me up to really sit back on a Tuesday afternoon and be able to just watch my grandkids and, and my babies play. So 40 is going to be a real pivotal year for me.
Indeed.
40 to 50.
Indeed. So again, your brother from Chicago. Chicago has always had a unique voice in hip hop. How does the city live and breathe through your music?
Listen, I mean, if you've never been to Chicago, you press play on Philmore's music and close your eyes and just lay there. I promise you're gonna smell a Jewtown Polish just out of the blue. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna smell Italian beef. It breathes through the headphones, bro. It's like I pay attention to all the great storytellers in hip hop and the small details. If you go listen to Money Over Vegas, I detail everything in that story, even from when the robbers coming in the room trying to get me and the chick and the feathers burst out of the couch. Money Over Vegas on my new album, The Grand Design. So yeah, man, like it's the small details, man. And that's how I describe the city, from the pigeons to the top of the building, man. It's just how you say things to make it realistic in the mind, So I try to pay attention to the details. I name blocks. I get down to the abyss when it comes to the city, bro. Like it's just the simple things, man. The details and everything I write.
So let's talk about this new album, The Grand Design. Who produced on it? What inspired it? And what message are you trying to send through it?
Well, the grand design basically is the grand design of life and the grand design of music. I gave you every bit of what we love growing up listening to. You know what I mean? I gave you storytelling. I gave you the braggadocious rhymes. I gave you thought-provoking rhymes, introspective rhymes. I did everything but rhyme like Twister. You know what I'm saying? But that song didn't make the cut. So I give you every end of the table on this album. Every end of the table on this album, and the grand design is basically, the things we love. The blueprint of everything involving life and music.
Your music is deeply personal and it's socially aware. What's your creative process like when you sit down and write?
Sometimes I sit down and write. I might jot half a verse and I might come back to it 2 days later. I treat it like real art, man. Like I'm not a studio rat. I'm growing into be a studio rat because I understand like the demand for my music is it's the high demand on it now. It's not the highest, but it's getting higher than what it used to be. I just go off a feeling. I might see a piece of art. I might see a commercial. I thrive a lot through watching sports and watching an underdog win. You know, like a Tom Brady, the Steph Currys. You know, just the guys who didn't have the high ceiling, but they just came and blew the lid off. And now they're arguably some of the best superstars that ever played their respective sports. So I get inspired by a lot of things, man. I really love sports. But I get inspired, it could be anything. It could be a song, another rapper, another artist. I could listen to the pockets, and inspiration comes from everywhere with me. Inspiration comes from all over the place with me, man. So I'm an artist, bro. Like you can't rush. You couldn't rush Basquiat back then and tell him, okay, this piece is done. When he feel like it's done and he get that feeling that it's done, he can do it. That he can stop or he can start however he want to start. This is real art to me, and these are real. Some of them are real stories and real emotions overall. So I just go off my gut, man, and what I feel. Like it was a song on the album. I ain't gonna say which one, but it was a song on the album. It took me 6 months to write. It would just I would jot it and put it down and won't go back to it. It took me 6 months to write the song. So it just comes, man. I might get a bar when I'm leaving this room, like when this is, and I'll jot it, and here we go. Sometimes I go in spurts, and I get this crazy feeling at the top of my head, and I black out. So I'm different, man. You know, I'm different.
Yeah. What I appreciate is that you mentioned the fact that this is art. Why is it important for you to present your music as a true art form, specifically rap music?
Because when you break down the meaning and what they call us in the industry and all over the world, when you really break down, I'm not a rapper, I'm a recording artist. You know, I'm a recording artist. I'm a rapper, but when you break it down, this is art, man. You know, because there's no one way to do it. That's what makes it so. I'll repeat the question. I could talk to you for an hour, Eddie. So
no, that's cool. I mean, like, you know, because you stress the fact that this is art, right? And why is it important for you to maintain that fact, like to stress the fact that this music is art?
That's true. Okay, it's oversaturated. I don't think a lot of people respect this genre. You know, including people that don't rap and don't do hip hop. I think a lot of people still look at hip hop. Simple fact: why can't hip hop artists tour until they're 79 like Sting or, you know, respect to those guys? But why are we looked at as crazy if we want to go up there and rap about? That's why it's key to rap about certain things throughout your career, because you phase yourself out if you're talking about killing somebody when you were 21. You can't rap that when you're 69. But in certain genres like hard rock, heavy metal, they talk about everything that they look at us crazy for too. They just say it in a certain way. You feel me? But that's why I push it so much, man, because it's so oversaturated, man. What we're doing is art. What I'm doing is art. I'm not just rapping. If you peel back the layers on what I'm saying, it'll mean so much to you, and you'll get a different perspective. Like when I did the album with Apollo Brown, the lyrics came to life when he went to K-Town with me. You know what I mean? We went 2 days in a row to film 2 different videos, and he was just like, man, it just makes more sense. I'm actually here. This is the spot you were talking about. I actually wrote one of the records outside. This is where you wrote it, in the middle of the trenches. So it's like, it makes the music much more real when you can really go to a place and say, this is what I was talking about, this is where I was from. So that's why I call it art, man, because it's art. It's all art. What you're doing is art. The art of interviewing. It's different. Like people don't understand that.
Yeah, definitely. And I feel like when you approach it that way, it gives it more substance, and you're able to give more to the people, give more of yourself to the people. And
that's what it's about.
So
that's what it's about.
Even speaking more to that, a piece of art you just dropped called Gold Air Max. That's one of the latest singles you dropped. It's
Yeah.
a vibe. It's a vibe, of course. What inspired that record?
Shout out to my brother Rashid Hadi. He did the beat. When I first heard the beat, I was just telling him, you know what I mean? Like, he know when we live going through beats and we listening to everything, he knows like when I'll be like, man, keep that one on ice. That means don't give it to nobody. Keep it, let that one chill. I'm gonna get to it. Gold Air Maxes didn't make the cut for the album. That was one of the songs we cut. And we wanted to use it as a bonus track. But it was just one of those records, man. Sometimes I write those records really to prove a point. I'm not saying I'm proving it to nobody. I'm proving it to myself. You just want to give it to the people, man. Like, you know, I can go there too. You know what I'm saying? I can borrow out a beat. It ain't got to be all, you know, introspective every time I get on the mic, but I can actually go there too and really put my pen to the pad and go with the best. So Gold Air Maxes, that was me. That was me really putting out something that everybody could feel, because I feel like I've been giving everybody introspective music for years. I'm never gonna stop that, but I'm gonna jump into other lanes. I'm gonna go out there a little bit. Like you said, it's a vibe. I'm pushing vibes from here on out.
Hey, sometimes you just want to remind people that you got bars. That's all.
Yeah. That's it. That's basically what I'm saying. I just wanted to delay the answer. You feel me?
No. Sometimes you just want to be like, hey, look, I'm not playing over here. Yeah, I give you a story, but I give you a hot 16 too. Pause.
Plenty of them. Pause. You know what I'm saying? Like, I give you plenty of those. Millions.
All day.
You know?
Hey, so you on there with one of the greats, Skyzoo. How did that collaboration come about?
Skyzoo's my brother, man. You know, our relationship goes back to 2019. And then that same year, he asked me and Hadi to go on tour with him. Of course, we accepted the offer, you know, and anytime you spend that much time with somebody on the road or wherever, you're going to grow closer. So he's always one I would reach out to if I needed some advice, if I needed them to check something out for me. He's, I tell people this, man, aside from Off the Block and Soul 360, those are my early years, but in my later years, when I finally emerged, I'm under three umbrellas, man. That's the Rashid Hadi umbrella, the Skyzoo umbrella, and the Apollo Brown umbrella, because those guys did very important things for me to get to where I am right now. They helped me in so significant ways, many significant ways. You feel me? So Skyzoo's my brother. I just sent him the record. Everybody can't send Sky a record. If you want a feature price, you got to pay the fee. You feel me? But we break bread, man. But I sent Scott a record, man, and was like, man, what you think? You know what I mean? Do you got the space to put a 16 of this? Because I honor people's time. If you working on something and you tell me, nah, I ain't got the time, I respect that. Ain't no hard feelings. I'm not upset about it. I get it, man. You know what I'm saying? So he had the time to do it, and he sent the verse back, and I was like, man, I gave it to Hadi. Didn't know what I wanted to do with the hook yet. Hadi sent it and was like, what you think of this? And I was like, man, that's the record right there. So whole time featuring Skyzoo and Rashid Hadi, produced by Rashid Hadi, out now on all DSPs.
Word up. Shout out to Rashid Hadi, one of the dopest producers out of Chicago.
That's big bro.
Definitely. So
yeah,
let's dig into this hip hop thing for a bit, because you know you're a representative. So
okay.
In this current state of hip hop, what do you think is missing, and what do you want to bring back?
I want to bring back, well, first, what's missing? We have everybody covering all ends of the table, so I don't want to say anything is missing, but I just want to bring back, what I would bring back, I'll go to that part of the answer, is the structure, man. The structure. Like, you know, the indie structure, the when we get good with doing things off the phones, but let's bring back that out the trunk, the physical sales of things. Let's bring back that. Let's bring back going driving to beauty salons and really having something for them to buy, and barbershops having something for them to buy, and not just listening to it on the phone. I know that's kind of a tall order right now with the emergence of smartphones, but that's what I would bring back, man, you know, because I think those were the things back then, that made the music more personal. If somebody gave you something, if you really ain't interested in it, you'll put it down for a minute and you might pick it up later. But if you actually spent your dollar for something hand in hand, you're more susceptible to go listen to that. And you purchased this. This is an investment you made. So you spent your hard-earned money on it, and you can touch it. You're gonna go listen to it, man. That's why I think the numbers are down and everything, because like I just said in the earlier answer, it's oversaturated. There's so many people rapping now, and there's so many people doing entertainment. It's not enough fans because everybody's looking from a different perspective. So I would just bring back that brick and mortar, that hand-in-hand sale and transaction of things, and make that more in demand than e-commerce.
Yeah. It ain't nothing like going to the store, picking up an album or a CD for that matter, and just opening it up. It's something about opening it up, looking at that artwork, seeing who's involved with the project. When I think about that, I'm like, man, they have no idea. So many people have no idea what that experience is like. Right now people are waiting till midnight for a project to drop. They'll do it once and then never go back to it again.
Never go back to it, man.
But to your point, when you make that investment, you're gonna sit down, you're gonna sit with a project for a while. And you know what? The single that might have dropped might not even be your favorite song. And the only way you could figure that out is listen to a project a few times.
Listen to it a few times, and when you can used to go in places like Sam Goody, and you can actually sample the album before you buy it. So I will be in there 2-3 hours and just scanning all Wu-Tang section. You know what I'm saying? Listening to 30 seconds each track. So it was just like, man, those were the days, man, because you might hear a bunch of dope beats and be like, yeah, I'm gonna spend my 20 on this. Pop it in a CD player and get right on a bus and train or wherever you're going and just go.
It's funny that you mentioned Wu-Tang, because on Gold Air Max, I hear some Wu-Tang influence on that. Who are some of the artists that influenced you over the years?
My influence is everyone from the golden era, man. The Scarfaces, the Jay-Z's, the Nas, the Biggies, the Tupacs, the Raekwons, everybody from that golden era, man. OutKast. Those are the guys, and those are my guys. Those are the people I look up to because they still relevant today. Nas about to drop albums this summer. Raekwon, Ghostface, all those guys about to drop. Like, I can't wait on that. Like, that's huge. Like, they about to have a whole summer, like all our greats. So anytime they could do stuff 35 years after they started, how could you not look at that and study that and try to emulate that as much possible, but be yourself? But they inspire me heavy, man. All those golden era cats, man. They are what hip hop is today.
I definitely agree with you. And along with those influences, Chicago has produced some amazing artists, including yourself. If you had to create a top 5 list of Chicago artists, who would be on your list?
Oh, man. Am I included? Do I exclude myself?
Of course. Yeah, talk that talk.
Gotta talk that talk. Only for rolling out, man. Okay. Now, I'm going to just give this because I know we ain't got time, and we definitely not. We could talk about this topic for an hour straight like the barbershop. And for the sake of our time, I'm going to give 5. And when you hear Chicago, listen, Chicago, don't take it personal. But I'm going to have to go in no order, no number order. Philmore. Of course, I got to give myself in there. If I'm included, you said pop my shit, right?
Right.
Philmore Greene. Off the bat, no order, Mick Luder. He's one I looked up to. You familiar with Mick Luder, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Mick Luder, my man Emelski. From the Crib. Common. Gotta go with Common. It'll be cliche for me to put Rashid in there. Okay, I'm gonna take myself and Rashid off.
Okay. All right, so we starting over. So you got Mick Luda and Common. So now you got three left.
Mick Luda, Common. My man Cody D. Camry. His name is Cody D. Camry.
Okay.
Cody D. Camry. You may not heard of him, but if I had $1 million label deal, $500 million label deal tomorrow, Cody D. Camry is getting a call from me. You know what I mean? I told several producers about him. I don't know what come from that, but Cody D. Camry, I call him out of Chicago, Andre 3000.
Okay.
Cody D. Camry, Saba, and I gotta go with, because what you can go Lupe, but Twista, because
Okay.
what he do isn't easy. You know what I mean? I can
Not
give
at
you,
all.
yeah, like, because he got to cram his words in to make a 16. Like, what he do isn't easy. And my honorable mentions, I can give you I Am God, and I got to give you two honor, just to be fair. I want to say Gemstones.
Ah,
Yeah, you forgot about him. See, I
yeah.
got this.
Gemstones
Gemstone.
problem.
Gemstones is a problem.
Yeah.
And my man Sense 96.
Okay, I'm not familiar with that, brother.
Spitter, go crazy. You
I, t-
better
I,
bring
talk,
your A game.
I talked to the
Huh?
brother. God, he's the truth. He's another
Yeah.
storyteller.
Yeah, he's a storyteller. He's one of them ones, man. He's a heavy
And,
hitter. Super heavy.
and
Super heavy.
and you mentioned a name that people don't bring up a lot, and that's Saba. Like Saba, that boy right
Mm-hmm.
there,
Yeah.
his pen,
Solve no
like
problem.
I noticed that the people that you pick have serious pens. There's like in terms of the way that you approach your music, I can tell you have that pen is important to you. How do you manage to keep that integrity there when you write with that pen there? Like, how do you continue that?
When I hit a beat, one of the first things I do, and this goes to your question about the process of creativity, but when I hit a beat, I think of what does the beat sound like? Does the beat sound like morning? Does the beat sound like night? Does it sound like it's rain? Does it sound like, does it sound like a blissful morning? Or does it sound like the coldest night in Chicago history? And that determines how I approach it, how my cadence will be, how I will be, how I deliver. You know what I mean? It's a lot goes into that pen. My pen is versatile. It's like Hollywood, man. I can make anything happen with that pen, bro. So yeah, my pen game I take my pen game very seriously, and it's not to be played with when it comes to me. It's like one of my kids.
Mhm.
So we don't play around with the kids, man. So the pen game is just like one of my kids, man. I gotta protect that and keep it sharp and watch it grow.
And
Pause.
to be honest, yeah, to be honest, I feel like that's what separates Chicago artists from the rest of the country. I feel like our pen game is the greatest. It flows too and that kind of thing. But I feel like we are undefeated when it comes to that pen. That's just me. You
I
know.
mean, it's a lot of people feel that way with
Yeah.
like that, man. Like, we put a lot of integrity in our pen. Chicago, one thing about the music in Chicago is like, you can go to Detroit and you can see the spitters. You can distinguish the spitters, and all the spitters know each other, and they might pop out at the events, and it's not that big of a population.
Hmm.
You could go to New York, and that's the Mecca. So spitters always kind of gonna rule over there. You can
Hmm.
go to LA, spitters were kind of like rule over there before the rah-rah,
Right, right,
because so much history over there. There's so much history in New York City. But Chicago, we got bits and pieces of everything. Like, you can come here, right? I don't know what lane you would put me in. You feel me? Like, I just do me. I don't look at lanes, but I respect it. I don't know what lane one would put me in. But you got your Chance the Rapper and Saba lanes. You got your Chief Keef and Dirk lanes. You got your Lupe lanes. You got the Philmore lane. It's so many different types of music coming from the crib. Like, it's no, you really can't put us in the box, for lack of better words. You can't put us in the box. And it's, you know, there's a number of creativity here. So it's so creative. A lot of people really don't look at it. I think a lot of people don't look at us as like great penmans, but they know. Like the emergence of the Chicago hip hop scene right now, they watching it. Like we under the microscope. They know we got spitters and they know we got some top tier heavyweights here. You know what I'm saying? So we finna make some noise. We already doing it.
Yep. So what's next for Philmore Greene?
Man, we got an eventful summer coming up, the summer of Philly, where as of now we have 3 book shows here. I haven't performed in the city in almost 2.5 years. Almost 2.5 years. I've been on 2 world tours with my brother Apollo Brown since 2023, 24. I mean, 2023, 22, whatever it is. Yeah, 23. But it's the summer of Philly now, man. I got 3 great shows lined up, all different set lists, different forms. The first show is at Bourbon on the Vision, May 17th, with my brother Skyzoo and my other brothers, Rufus Sims and Jay Hayes, AKA the Little People. And we got our first ever beat tournament. And we got 8 hungry producers. They're gonna face off on stage and they're gonna win. And the winner gets a record with Skyzoo and I. And I'm thinking about getting a trophy too, a trophy or a belt for the winner. Because I think I think we got some here. Just by the thought and how we're gonna set it up, I think we're gonna have some here. So that's the first show, May 17th, Bourbon on the Vision. You can get your tickets at bourbononthevision.com right now. May 17th, that's a Saturday. Skyzoo, myself, and the Little People. Second show for Summer of Philly series is a fundraiser. I can't give too many details on that because they don't have a headliner yet. They locking it in with the headliner. But it's a dope MC. I'll be honored to share the stage with. But that's gonna be in July, hosted by my brother Wood Harris. And the third show, man, like we may put some stuff in between and, you know, a new album or something. You never know. But the third show, that's going to be a real special one, just like the rest of them are. But this one is something I wanted to scratch off my list. Doing City Winery on August 20th with a live band, a Masters Collection band. For those who've been to City Winery in the West Loop area, they know that's supreme, grown, and sexy. And it's very grown, mature. The sounds are great, the wine is great, the food is great. It's just an honor for me to headline that spot, and that's gonna be a good one, man. We're gonna have family out to that one. All of them gonna be good, but we're gonna cap the summer off with that, you know. So that, a new album, new music, who knows, man. I might do some other shit.
Hey, let's make it happen. We here to put it out, right? We here to make noise. We here to put this music out for the people to feel this art. So how can people?
Exactly. I got other endeavors outside of music too that I just can't really talk out of turn about. But it's some things in the works, man. So my brain stay working, man. So I'm just bringing these ideas to life that I've been having in my brain for years. But Summer of Philly, the 3 great shows lined up in the city of Chicago. And we got some stuff lined up in other cities as well.
Word. So let the people know how they can find you.
Man, Philmore Greene, Philmore, and Green with an E at the end, everywhere. Instagram, I just got a TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, all the streaming platforms, you know what I'm saying? Find me everywhere on all the streaming platforms, Philmore Greene, Philmore, and Green with an E at the end.
Brother, thank you so much for joining us today. I really appreciate you.
Thank you for having me, bro. Anytime, man. Every drop, we got to talk. You know what I'm saying? Every Philmore drop, we gotta have a conversation.
Of course. Let's keep that going. Yo, much love to Philmore Greene for blessing us with the reel on Rolling Out Music. Make sure y'all check out Gold Air Max, Run It Up, and the Grand Design, Run It Up. If you haven't already, this is your man, Eddie Precise Lamar. And as I always say, stay focused, positive, and productive. Peace. Yeah.